There's a reason so many gardeners quit halfway when dealing with compacted clay soil. It feels like an endless fight. The harder you dig, the tougher it gets. The more you till, the more it locks back into place, squeezing out air, choking roots, and refusing to absorb water. If you've been battling this kind of soil with shovels, hose, and hours of back-breaking effort, it's time to stop. There's a better way, one rooted in centuries of wisdom and refined by some of the most resilient growers on Earth. It's called the Amish Humus Method, and instead of fighting clay, it transforms it into fertile, loose, living soil without endless digging. The instinct to dig and loosen clay is natural. At first, it seems to work. Soil breaks apart, looks open, and even feels friable. But clay has a memory. The moment it gets wet and dries again, it compacts back into a brick-like slab. Heavy machinery and repeated tilling only worsen the problem by crushing soil structure and destroying beneficial microbes. What's left is a lifeless medium that resists both water infiltration and root penetration. This is why so many gardeners feel stuck in a never-ending loop, loosen, compact, repeat. The Amish Humus Method breaks this cycle not by forcing the soil, but by feeding it. Instead of turning clay upside down, you introduce natural, living materials that condition it from the inside out. Over time, your soil no longer behaves like clay. It behaves like rich, black earth. Humus is not just compost. It's the stable, dark organic matter created when plant and animal material fully decomposes. Unlike raw compost or manure, humus doesn't burn roots, doesn't wash away quickly, and has a unique sponge-like quality that holds moisture while keeping soil loose. In clay, humus acts like millions of tiny wedges, separating particles so that air and water can move freely. What makes humus truly special is its biological richness. It teams with beneficial microorganisms that feed plants naturally, unlocking nutrients trapped in clay minerals. As these organisms cycle through organic matter, they create a living soil ecosystem. Roots suddenly find air pockets, nutrients become available, and the hardpan begins to crumble. Not through force, but through life. The Amish have long understood that soil fertility is not about tilling deeper or adding chemical fertilizers. Their method centers on creating deep, lasting humus right in the field or garden. The formula is simple, but its results are extraordinary. You'll need the following: 1 part cow manure, well-rotted, never fresh, 1 part finely cut straw or dry leaves, 1 part green plant material such as grass clippings, weeds, or vegetable scraps, and 1 part garden soil. Mix these in equal proportions to build a pile at least 3 feet wide and 3 feet tall. Now, this balance of carbon from straw and leaves nitrogen from green matter and manure, and a good mineral base from soil, well, it really ensures proper microbial activity. You'll want to water the pile thoroughly until it's as moist as a wrung-out sponge. Usually that means about 20 liters of water for every 100 kilograms of material. After that, cover it with a breathable tarp to protect from heavy rain, but still let some air exchange happen. Be sure to turn the pile once every 7 to 10 days for the first month. And each time you turn, add enough water to keep that sponge-like dampness. Within 6 to 8 weeks, the pile transforms into a rich, black humus that smells just like forest earth. This is your clay-fighting weapon. Instead of digging clay over and over, simply spread a 2 to 3 inch layer of humus on top of your garden beds. Water it lightly and let the soil organisms do the work. Earthworms will start pulling humus down into the clay, creating channels that help with drainage and aeration. Microbes will multiply and soften the clay's tight bonds. If you want faster results, mix humus lightly into the top 2 to 3 inches of soil instead of digging deeply. Over time, repeated top dressings will transform the entire soil profile. Within 1 to 2 growing seasons, what once resisted your shovel will crumble easily in your hands. Now, many gardeners try to fix clay with chemical fertilizers, lime, or gypsum. While these can offer some short-term relief, they don't really address the root problem: soil life and structure. Without humus, any chemical addition quickly fades, leaving soil compacted again. The Amish Humus Method, by contrast, is permanent. Once you restore biological activity and organic structure, the soil maintains itself. Plants grow stronger, roots go deeper, and fertility increases year after year without constant digging or expensive inputs. Gardeners who switch to this method often notice dramatic changes within a single season. Water no longer pools on the surface but sinks evenly into the ground. Seeds germinate faster because the soil is both moist and airy. Vegetables like carrots and potatoes, which normally struggle in clay, grow straighter and larger. Even perennials and fruit trees establish better because their roots penetrate freely. If building a full compost pile feels overwhelming, you can still use the Amish principle on a smaller scale. Just gather a bucket with about 2 kilograms of cow manure, 2 kilograms of chopped straw or dry leaves, 2 kilograms of green plant material, and 2 kilograms of garden soil. Mix thoroughly and dilute with 5 liters of water until the mixture is moist but not soupy. Place it in a covered container for about 2 weeks, stirring every few days. The result is a mini batch of humus that can be applied around plants or spread thinly over beds. The true beauty of the Amish Humus Method is that it compounds over time. You see, each season you add humus, the soil becomes more fertile and easier to work. After several years, clay is no longer recognizable. It turns into a rich, dark loam that supports anything you plant. This is why Amish farms remain fertile for generations without synthetic fertilizers or industrial tilling. Their secret isn't just tradition, it's humus. Clay doesn't have to be your enemy. Stop exhausting yourself with endless digging that leaves you right back where you started. Instead, feed your soil with humus and let life do the heavy lifting. The Amish Humus Method is more than a technique. It's a mindset. It teaches us to work with nature, not against it. Once you try it, you'll never look at clay the same way again. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to Growth Hub Central Crops for more proven, practical gardening wisdom. Share this with a fellow gardener who's tired of fighting their soil, because together we can turn hard ground into thriving abundance.